Do you guys know about how I've been helping out my grandma with the moving process because she's being evicted from our little condominium? Well, earlier today, when we were helping, clear out some of her stuff, she ordered a cab so she can go out to the bank and all, and she had this old guy take her and all. His name was Bill and all, and he seemed nice at first, even though he didn't say anything to me. No, he gave me some weird looks, and they both drove off while me and my mother were left in her condominium, helping clean up stuff and all, sort things, take stuff out and all onto the sidewalk so that way it could be taken out and put in our vans for the moving process. But then, during the middle of it and all, we got a call from someone. I don't know if it was from the police or the post office or whatever. Yeah, my grandma apparently went to the bank and all, and my grandma went in, and the driver and all, he stayed there out in the parking lot, even though my grandma said, no, you don't have to wait for me and all, because she knew that it would cost extra money for the guy to stay out there and all. And then, when she was done in the bank and all, she came back to the cab, and then the guy demanded $1,650 already, for crying out loud. Jesus. And then, grandma demanded for them to go to the post office, and when they finally did, she went into the post office, took care of some things and all, but she wasn't quite done yet. And she promised that she would take 10 minutes, but ended up being 30. That was her mistake and all. And that cab driver got pissed. He was like, "Oh, how you took so much longer and all." But apparently my grandma said, "You don't have to wait for me this time. Go take care of someone else, and then I'll command you to, I'll call you so that you can come and pick me up here and all when I'm done." But no, the guy stayed there for 30 minutes doing nothing and all, and he expects to be paid. And then my grandma went into the cab, slightly annoyed with this situation, but the cab driver said, because, my grandma justifiably wouldn't pay that much amount and all, even though she commanded him to go and all, he didn't go and was wanting to take the money. So then my grandma wouldn't get out of the car and all, and the cab driver got pissed, opened the door of the passenger seat, asked her to leave, and then grabbed her by the hair, yanked her out of the car, and, yeah, pushed her onto the concrete and all, took her walker away so she couldn't get up and all, and almost completely ditched her, for crying out loud. And then, during all this time and all, some witnesses saw the whole thing, and then the cops got pulled, and then the guy's now in jail, hopefully, or in trial, or whatever. And my grandma now has some more scrapes and bruises on her leg, as if her legs weren't already torn up enough, with all those scratches and bruises and boils and stuff. Ugh. And then me and Mom got the call and all. We left to go help her out, pick her up. And we took and comforted her, and we had a nice lady who was helping my grandma during the wait and all. Her name was, what was it? Michelle, I believe. Yeah, she was very nice, very comforting. I liked her a lot. And then everything was fine with my grandma, even though she was really annoyed with the situation. But when we got back and all, she realized that we had taken out her recliner, and she was mad about that and all, and she started having a hissy fit, and she was hungry because she had barely any food left in her house and all. Well, guess what, Grandma? Me and Mom are also hungry. We only had breakfast today so far. That is until earlier. And then we snuck out of her house and all before Grandma could hold us hostage, because she's done it before with my mom and all, just because she didn't hand over some pictures, for crying out loud. Oh boy. So we got out of there quickly, and finally I arrived home, and now here I am talking about this whole day. And during all of this, guess what else happened? I was on a Hangouts call, and apparently this Mike Swervez jerk who's been bullying people everywhere, look at this! Plus he uses an outdated profile picture. Normie. God, Mike Swervez, if you're watching this, you suck. Go get terminated. From Instagram and YouTube. Stop bullying people. And that goes for all of you. Bartos, Thea's Next Gens, all of you, whether you're the same person or not. And yeah, also, a while back when I got Ernesto, I found Dirkson and Hank Halloween Murphy. My mom promised that she'd get me those cars after I mowed the lawn that day, but I didn't get to mow the lawn because we were called by Grandma, and then 7 days later, and now here we are and all, and finally I get to mow the lawn. Now I'm just simply waiting for those cars to be bought. The only problem is, I can't find a single sale for China Dirkson. Not one. There's only a couple rubber tire releases, but they're like $19 to $24 for God's sakes. And then there's one with those. There was a release of him with one of those stupid-looking Mac customs. You know the ones I'm talking about, where they like are basically like a weird, ugly-looking Mac with half-assed looking decals of the sponsor, like Trunk Fresh and Mood Springs and stuff like that, and all. You know the ones I'm talking about. They look awful. I believe Hank has some China releases online, though, thankfully, because he's such a classic car that's rather popular. But still, ugh. This day, ugh. 2020, when will you end? You remind me of that Scrap Trap meme from Docko's newest meme review video. You know what one I'm talking about, where it's like December 31st and all, and then right when it comes to midnight, it turns into December 32nd, and Scrap Trap's like, no! Yeah, that's basically my situation right now.